Brothers and sisters, Kunal here on the mic. I'm going to keep this short and sweet here because the markets are getting shemangled, so the watch list will be short. It's been fun. It's been sexy. It's like Cancun 1999. This is wild times out here in the markets. The Qs have finally cracked, but we've seen the cracks in the system, for the last couple weeks as high beta names have been taken out. So let's take a look and see what the heck is happening. So, couple things. Number one, ever since, Kevin Warsh, or whatever his name is, was named to the Fed chair, the first crack was in silver and gold. They got taken out. I thought that would, put some liquidity back into stocks, but that did not happen. It just looked like liquidity left the system. And then things have been getting shot one after another. You've got IBIT here, which is Bitcoin, really getting taken down. Bitcoin just hit 60,000 a couple minutes ago. And Monster, right? All of these names, Coin, one by one have been taken down. And then, of course, all the Twitter gurus' favorites, hey, if you invest in ASTS, it'll be generational money, right? And they've been taken out one after another, ONDS, IRIN, right? Guys, imagine how stupid we all are. Hey, IRIN is a failed Bitcoin miner. They could barely mine any Bitcoins. They were just sitting there at like $2 for all this time. Then they flipped and all of a sudden they're an AI data center play. And they couldn't even mine any Bitcoins in the middle of Timbuktu in Paducah, Kansas. But all of a sudden they're scoring big deals with Microsoft and Amazon and going to the moon. Come on. It's still overvalued at 12 billion, market cap. It's getting taken out one after another. So there's been chinks in the system for a while. The beta names are getting taken out. But relief is around the corner. We got a date maybe with the 200-day moving average. Give me a big gap down tomorrow. We'll get a relief rally. How long that relief rally lasts, I don't know. But I wouldn't count on a V-shaped bounce or anything like that. These stocks have been damaged. These kind of names like your Cypher and stuff, they're all on support. So I do think, we can catch a little bit of a bounce on them. But is it going to be like some big mamma jamma? No. Look, this thing was $2. It went to $25. What more do you want, right? The charts are broken. They're stuck in range. They're zigzagging. When they start looking like a barcode, the play is over, right? The easiest money you'll ever make is when you're just riding up the EMAs and just cruising higher. Not when you're just chopping around barcode style and then, you're going to, just bust out the highs like you really want. IRIN's just going to go to 100. They're going to sign some fake deal with fucking Amazon and, right, they're going to go to 100. No. It takes work to eat through all the supply, these dead bodies, these hopes and dreams, right? Like all the dorks thinking, man, someday if this goes to 100, I might get myself a hot little piece. That ain't happening, baby. The piece is gone. She moved off. She moved on to some smelly Indian guy from Bangladesh, right? And some guy that looks like me, right? And we're getting all the chicks now because we got all the money, right? The paper money is gone. So you just got to be careful. Protect your nuts tomorrow. And, dude, just have some fun with the volatility. We've been shorting the shit out of, everything. Puts on Palantir in the morning and then all the bear flags. Then we took down Tesla. And then we took down AMD. I've been shorting AMD for 2 straight days. I've done hundreds of executions on this big turd. But look, they're all getting too stretched. I don't think we can keep shorting into the hole. You got 200-day moving average on AMD. I'm going to keep the watch list short and sweet. 200-day moving average on AMD. We try for a bounce. I think the Amazon earnings might kind of wipe everything out and we can get that flush out that we need. I'll probably go in with the calls. I won't do 0 DT, but I'll probably go out the next week or so. I think Tesla's at the 200-day moving average, almost, right, 6 points away. We can try maybe the 400 calls or something along that end. IBIT, I already took a little stab in this already in the post markets once we tapped into the 60. But I think we could do the 40 calls for 1 month out are about $1.60, or they were, at the close. That's a good shot right there. That's a good stab. Coin's got earnings coming up, but you still got a week on it. Big level here. Let it flush out and remount back through. My thing is this. Once you get 10, 11, 12 days in a row, look at the distance between price and 9 EMA. if you can fit two thumbs between price and 9 EMA, you're getting stretched to a point where you should bounce, right? I would say 4 days worth of ATR, two thumbs, like regular thumbs, not like a blacksmith's thumbs or, any like some video gamer's thumbs, right? Dude, video gamers got epic thumbs, right? It's like the calluses that you get on your thumbs from like the nonstop gaming and beating off have to be like incredible, right? Like imagine the fucking claws on some kid that's just video games all day and then trades crypto. Like he's got the cannon wrist and the blacksmith's thumbs, and he's like 120 pounds, 5'6", purple hair, but he's got these monster cock thumbs. Like he's living. They're jamming buttons, but this is a spot. Like this is it, right? If you want something else that's non-related, maybe you go with the little ASTS. It's right on the 50-day moving average. You're down about 50 points, give or take. You want to find some areas where you do have some supports and stuff like that. Iron's obviously taking a big crapper, but, maybe you try a little cipher off the 200-day moving average. Now, guys, I repeat, these things are not going back to these highs. These are all failed Bitcoin miners that are fake AI data center plays. They ain't going back to highs. That day is past. Easiest money you make is when you roll up the MAs. When you look like a barcode like this, you ain't going nowhere. You're in the backseat of your buddy's Volkswagen. You're not right nut. You're not left nut. You're the penis in between us. You got no status, right? You're under your moving averages. When you're under your moving averages, you got no status, right? You're just there, right in the middle, backseat of your buddy's Volkswagen Beetle, right? So keep it clean tomorrow. I don't think you need that many plays like, Tesla, AMD. Like, look for these kind of 200-day moving average plays. I think that's the big mamma jamma. You want multiple days ATR from the 9 EMA, lower Bollinger Band, and ideally near a level of support. That's the play. That's it. That's your mean reversion trade. Don't do anything else. You want to try to hit the most liquid and most oversold names. I think that's going to be the play for tomorrow. If we gap up, I probably will just sit around and just, say the market's manipulated and, make fun of Biden and blame Trump for it. But, if we gap down or even flat open, slightly flat open, maybe a gap down fake off and fade red and then break it back, something along that end, we're in it, baby. I'm in it for the kill. And we buy with some glory, with some, real, Indian mustard. All right? I love you guys. Peace.